We never consumed the BEV Kool-Aid. Other than Tesla, each manufacturer of electric vehicles in the BEV sector is incurring losses. Keep the enterprises afloat by satisfying a financial concern or carbon footprint. There is still a lack of demand for battery electric vehicles as evidenced by the latest earnings reports from the major manufacturers. However, the costs associated with the overall transition to electric vehicles remain substantial. I am now joined by Joe McCabe from Auto Forecast Solutions to discuss this further. Joe, if I were an auto executive and were considering this circumstance, my future would be contingent upon battery electric vehicles. However, they are not currently selling at the rate that I would prefer. What is the appropriate level of concern for me? Yes, the issue at hand is that the BEV initiative is a governmental and environmental agenda, rather than a consumer initiative. This is consistently a challenge when significant efforts are made in this regard. Currently, the problem with BEVs is that they are either 100% or zero. The manufacturers should be commended for their annual increase in the percentage of BEVs in the market. It is evident that the objectives were not established in this location. However, it is imperative to persuade the consumer that an outlet does not disrupt their daily routine. Therefore, it is exceedingly challenging to influence the needle when you are a significant executive attempting to construct a portfolio and have billions of dollars invested in numerous powertrain strategies. We must remind individuals that vehicle manufacturers have only one customer, a shareholder. It is exceedingly challenging to manipulate the needle when shareholder value is adversely affected by a lack of revenue and margins, even though consumers are not purchasing the product. Therefore, there is a significant number of manufacturers that are currently pivoting. GM stated, "We think that a hybrid strategy is necessary to address this issue. We have consistently maintained this conviction. We have never consumed the BEV Kool-Aid. It is an arduous journey to reach that destination, and we will never achieve completeness. Even in the presence of hybrids, the internal combustion engine will endure in specific markets indefinitely. There is a significant amount of portfolio balancing, as well as discussions regarding the reappropriation of funds and the termination of brands. This is a challenging period for legacy manufacturers as they are required to transport a significant amount of water to satisfy millions of consumers. I would like to briefly discuss the rebalancing process. However, it is important to note that consumers are not purchasing in the manner that is expected. What is the reason for this? What are they expressing? Are we aware of the specific reason they are not opting for these BEVs? Yes, that is amusing. The term supposed is consistently amusing. It is the "if you build it, they will come" approach, which is not the correct approach. Perhaps I have a family that requires frequent travel or a yearly vacation that involves driving across 3 states or provinces. I am not interested in stopping 3 times to do so. It is possible that I am not fond of the cost difference between a BEV and a non-BEV. It is possible that I am simply not accustomed to it, or that I am not at ease with it. It is feasible that I reside in a high-rise and cannot link up. The list of arguments against BEVs is extensive, while the list of arguments in their favor is also substantial. We are not anti-BEV, we are simply pro-reality. They are exceptional vehicles for that particular consumer. I occasionally express this sentiment. If I were a Harley owner, I would inquire as to why not everyone possesses a Harley. It is possible that this product is not suitable for me. Therefore, the notion that we are being compelled to develop a product that may not be compatible with our lifestyle is a formidable obstacle to surmount. Simultaneously, we are aware that manufacturers are required to introduce an increased number of electric vehicles. These mandates may be imposed by the government in the case of European countries or by the company itself, as is the case with GM. When we discuss affordability and range, I would like to inquire about these matters. We should commence with affordability as it was intended to be the primary focus in recent years, correct? To reduce the price and develop an electric vehicle that's affordable for the general public. What is the reason for the difficulty? A few obstacles remain: infrastructure, basic materials, price affordability, and range. We shall refer to it as the China effect. A significant portion of the price is determined by the vehicle's specifications. However, by utilizing an Excel spreadsheet throughout 12 to 14 months, you will experience substantial petroleum savings, thereby placing you in the win column rather than the lose column. The total cost of ownership of a BEV has been overemphasized, which is not a concern. However, if I am uncomfortable with the plug or cannot put it in, the price of the vehicle is irrelevant. Far too many individuals are relying on the notion that as soon as the cost of BEVs is reduced, everyone will immediately purchase one. You're advising individuals to alter their perspective on the process of fueling their vehicles, regardless of whether they are capable of doing so. This is the most significant challenge that individuals are not adequately confronting. Each consumer is distinctive. Each consumer has their perspective on the product and asks, "What is the best product for me?" That is the true distinction. We can review the list of obstacles and they are all accurate. However, if that plug continues to disrupt my life, nothing will change for me. However, when it comes to affordability, we are aware that Elon Musk, for instance, stated that this was one of the genuine issues he intended to address. However, we are currently witnessing him pivot away. We are also observing that other mass market manufacturers are experiencing some difficulty in overcoming this obstacle. What is the extent to which the new competition from China serves as a deterrent for many of these automakers? Tesla should be the initial focus of that discussion. Tesla's greatest apprehension is being identified as a vehicle manufacturer. Elon is opposed to the term car company due to the complexity and expense of automobile production. Establishing suppliers necessitates a 3-year process as there are numerous risks and obstacles. He was the first and finest in the market. Teslas are exceptional automobiles, I am not disputing this fact. However, his capacity to produce at the margins is being called into doubt as he transitions to a legitimate automobile manufacturer. Presently, he is decreasing production. He once expressed a desire for 20 million vehicles annually, a figure that was not credible. Currently, he is announcing, I will not utilize the existing capacity. Instead, I will employ robo-taxis. He can reduce his costs and increase his margins by contending a vehicle with robot taxis. He has always aspired to be an innovator, not a car corporation, and he is interested in entering the field of AI. Now the impact of China asserts, look, we have been acquiring knowledge from Western manufacturers for 3 decades. To enter China, it is necessary to establish a partnership. We will eventually achieve growth and learn. We aspire to market share and global dominance. When China evaluates a market, they are not concerned with the amount of revenue they will generate. Rather, they are interested in the extent of their market share. Other than Tesla, each manufacturer of electric vehicles in the BEV sector is incurring losses. Ford is losing $100,000 per BEV, while Rivian is losing $38,000 per car. However, the primary concern is how to increase our market share, as our objective is to achieve net negative carbon emissions. Therefore, when China enters a market and asserts, look, we already have a 20 to 30% price differential that benefits us. We are capable of entering the premises. We have acquired knowledge regarding consumer preferences as a result of our 3 decades of observation. We will enter a market that requires BEVs and announce our capabilities. China poses a hazard due to its efforts to increase pricing competition. The notion that early adopters were present in purchasing $100,000 vehicles is no longer valid. The early adopters have adopted. The mass market carriers are now required, and they require a $45,000 option. That is the point at which China will surpass its competitors, as they are primarily interested in expanding their market share beyond their borders. In that scenario, how long will it take for the legacy car manufacturers from Western countries to catch up? Are they already so far behind that their supper is being consumed? They are not that far behind. The current concern is that China has made a significant impact without anyone recognizing it. It is our responsibility to realize this when I am employed in the forecasting industry. In the 1980s, there was widespread skepticism regarding the Japanese prospects in North America, as we were utilizing land yachts, and they were utilizing small vehicles during a petroleum crisis. Subsequently, they were unsuccessful. The Korean manufacturers initially introduced a subpar product. However, they have since heeded consumer feedback and have emerged as a formidable force. The Chinese are required to remove only the engine and transmission, and the vehicle is relatively straightforward to construct. You have batteries and motors, and your objective is to enhance their aesthetic appeal. Therefore, we think that hybrids will be instrumental in this transition. This is not a setback, rather, it is a more realistic assessment of the market's current capacity. The market is not yet prepared for a complete transition to battery electric vehicles (BEVs), and that is acceptable. Hybrids enable us to progress gradually and maintain the satisfaction of all parties, including shareholders. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. See you in the next one.